currently have a minimum wage, and raising it or not raising it, I don't understand how an inequality, by raising the minimum wage, how this is going to help inequality and within races and genders. Explain.
So raising the minimum wage would increase the pay of many women and other minorities in America. And it would help reduce income inequality due to the fact that corporations are getting away by paying their workers only $7.25 an hour, which is not a living wage. And it's instead of forcing us American taxpayers to
Okay, so you're not talking about inequality here, you're talking about the standard of living.
We're talking about income inequality.
Yeah, but you can say that. Judge, let's think about the people here. Let's think about these individual people that are going to be hurt if we do just let these big companies take away their job because we have to raise the minimum wage. I'm here to talk about the people that are going to be affected daily by this. The proposition wants to talk about how so many people have so little, so many more people are going to have nothing, live on the street, rely completely on the government, have no job whatsoever because of raising the minimum wage. I've given you 2 studies. The opposition has failed to rebut both of them on the account that they're irrelevant because it's a different minimum wage. The proposition himself has brought up different evidence about different kinds of minimum wage here. Just because it's a different amount of minimum wage doesn't mean it's irrelevant. It just means my evidence might be the evidence might be even more than what I'm stating here. I'm being quite generous by saying 1.3 million jobs, and by 2021, 10 million jobs. So this is a lot of jobs, a lot of people living on the street, our poverty rates going through the roof because of a raise of minimum wage. Think about these people living on the street, not being able to afford food because of the raise in food and living and everything that someone needs to have a good life. Now, the proposition seems to clearly be confused about it would hurt low-skilled workers argument, because when I talked about how a lot of people, I said a lot of people who have jobs that are on minimum wage are younger, less educated individuals. And he said I basically brought up no evidence saying that college is expensive. I think we can all agree college is expensive. A lot of people can't afford it. A lot of people go on aid. A lot of people cannot afford a luxury like college. So when we're taking away a job that these people need to survive, to be able to thrive in this country, it's not fair to them. It's not fair to anyone in the sense. We need to think about the big picture here, the majority of these workers, the majority of the people in this country. Now let's talk about poverty rates. Again, he just seemed to ignore my evidence because it's not relevant. Let's talk, it does not work. This is evidence brought up by Wilson, a 2012 study by Dr. Wilson, saying that that the poverty rates were not affected by a raise in minimum wage. It's just not happening. The proposition can just say whatever they want with all their studies, but it just doesn't happen. It's not happening. It's not the best way to do it. He never responded to any of my other ways. Actually, he did say, yeah, there are probably better ways than the minimum wage. Then let's use those other ways. Let's use the earned income tax credit, the tax reduction for small businesses, wage subsidies, and universal basic income. Let's use these. Let's put more emphasis on these and see what happens, because they can help our these people who live in impoverished areas, these people that are struggling to get jobs. Let's focus on that, and not something that has not worked since the beginning, since 1938 when we issued a 25-cent minimum wage. This has not worked since the beginning. It does not help the government. It does not help these workers, and it does not help the businesses. Overall, it's not a good idea. We're putting way too much pressure on small businesses, on businesses, and the American worker. Thank you, and please vote for the opposition.